What's going on, Dodgers Nation? It's time again for another iteration of the DN Roundtable, brought to you by a bunch of idiots, because that's what we are, that's what we do. That guy over there, Clint Pasillas, host of the Blue Heaven podcast, live every Monday night, around 7-ish, depending on the game time situation.
Yeah,
Eric,
5.
right over there. Eric, we don't say your last name because no one can say it, apparently. Host of the 3 Up, 3 Down podcast. You can check him out on YouTube. And face of the franchise, star of the show, golden child, number one in our heart and soul, Doug McCain,
You're too nice.
host
That's
of
you,
the Dodgers
man. You're
Dugout.
too nice. You're too
and the
nice.
post-game show, the DN post-game show, which you can check out at youtube.com/DodgersNationTV. And Doug is really good at it. You have a lot of fun doing it, don't you, Doug?
It's good times. Good times. Thankfully, we won a lot, so haven't had too many meltdowns this year. The sky hasn't fallen too many times, but, you know, get a little angry, get a little hostile, but it's always good times.
My favorite ones are when things go real bad and Doug has to deal with the heat from Dave Roberts somehow. The blame gets put on you a lot, and I respect that. Guys, let's jump right into it because the Dodgers are very good right now, even when they're not very good right now. But things are happening. A lot of people going on the injury list, a lot of people moving around. One guy, a lot of fun to be at the stadium for this one this week because it seemed like no one knew what was happening with David Price, including David Price himself, when you asked if he was going to be activated, when asked if he was going to pitch. And he's like, I've been ready. I've been with the team. I've been here. So ask Dave Roberts, ask Andrew Friedman, which is never a great answer if you're a player in terms of relationships. With that being said, there was a report about him possibly being moved. There was a report about the Dodgers interested in giving him a chance to start elsewhere. That generally doesn't mean we love you and appreciate you. That generally means like you want something we don't have to offer to you. Let's get you in the right place. So with that being said, what's the move for DP? You trade him, you keep him in the bullpen, you keep him on the COVID list because apparently that's just what they do these days. He was activated, still didn't pitch last night, I imagine, or Tuesday night.
Hanser in instead.
That's a much better option. I imagine he pitches at some point Wednesday afternoon. What is the move with him? Where do we go from here? Doug, I'm going to let you lead us off on this one.
So I would say David Price is like my gym membership. It probably should be used more, right? I mean, when you look at this season, a 1.93 ERA hasn't been terrible. They have to see if they can get him to be serviceable. And when you look at those injuries starting to pile up, Canley's out. You're starting to see Blake Trinan was already out, Kershaw's injury, and also the fact that if you move David Price, you're not going to get very much for him. You might get a used pair of rollerblades and a $5 Subway gift card, something like that. Maybe you get a little financial relief and some low-level prospects, but I think at this point, when you consider the depth issues last season, I would hold on to David Price to see if he can be serviceable. I really would.
That's where I'm at, assuming you're leading to me next because I read the script. This is a team that needs some length. They need some starting pitching help because, and we talked about it on Monday, Walker Buehler and Julio Urias got ran into the ground last season. Sure, they were great for most of the season, but they got ran into the ground last season out of necessity, and then all of a sudden, you go to the postseason, they were worn out, and the Dodgers did not make it to the World Series. If you're able to get a string of 10 starts out of David Price, 4 ERA, whatever, he doesn't need to be an ace, but he's a dude who has done it. You need help in the rotation. Even if he's a 6 starter, if he's a piggyback guy, if he's an opener or whatever, you need something to make sure people like Kershaw don't hurt themselves going every 5th day or needing to pitch 30 games. And the same with Walker and Julio. If they're pitching 30 starts, that should be fine. Don't get them too much more. Worry about October, and he helps. David Price helps with that.
I'm reading this as writing on the walls with everything that's happening, that he is going to be moved at some point by summertime. So with that being said, Eric, I'm going to put you on the hot seat a little bit. Say, for instance, we happen to trade David Price to a team that needs a starting pitcher where he can actually go and start games. Do we get anything? Are we able to get rid of any of his contract? Or are we just eating it and taking whatever we can get?
I mean, I think you're eating it. I mean, they're only paying $16 million of the 32. The Boston Red Sox have been kind enough to keep up the other half of that. So I don't think you're going to get much back. I mean, you're going to get some low-level prospects that we're all going to get overly excited about, and then we're going to realize that they've been in single A for the last 5 years. So I don't think you're going to get a ton with David Price, but it's a little frightening. There seems to be some division between the organization and DP just because this organization seems to always be in lockstep with all their players, including veterans that have pretty distinguished careers like David Price.
It's pretty surprising to hear any sort of like negative feedback from a player directly to a management system like that, especially with the Dodgers. We don't often hear it. They're pretty good at keeping it under wraps, keeping the relationships tight, not really letting anything out, but here we are. From the bottom of the basement all the way back up to the top, we got Freddie Freeman tearing the cover off the ball, posting a 160 WRC+, plus, leads the team in F-WAR. I mean, dude's making $27 million a year, which is a lot of cash, a lot of money.
Still
but
a bargain.
Now looking at this contract, almost 50 games into the season, now looking at this contract, can you make the argument that the dude is underpaid? Because you're looking at what he can do, the star power that he has, the ability to drive the ball the opposite field, play plus defense, everything that he does says that he's underpaid. Eric, do you think that he should be making more money?
I absolutely do not. I think Freddie Freeman is being paid exactly what he's worth. And I think if you want to make the argument that the $27 million in that final year of the contract probably is not going to be worth it, you have an argument there. But the fact is, he's accurately paid. It's a free market system. I believe in America. And look, the fact that this is kind of a weird stat that I found. So of the top 4 highest paid first basemen, 3 of them are in the top 3 for first base at WRC+. That's Eric Hosmer, Goldschmidt, and Freeman. So he's being paid exactly what he should be paid. And look, Matt Olson's doing well as replacement of the Braves, but one thing to point out, Tuesday night's game, was the exact evidence of why you paid Freddie Freeman. He had 3 doubles. He went first to third. He went first to third on a single, and then he makes an incredible stretching play to get that double play. That's everything you need to know about why they paid for this guy. In Freeman We Trust, this is the exact amount of value that he has, and that's exactly what we're paying him, and that's why Freeman's the best executive in baseball.
That contract, added in with Mookie's contract, and you have the best 1-2 punch in baseball for the next 5 to 6 years. Maybe, depending on how things go. With that, Doug, I want to kind of shift the question to you a little bit. How much is that contract a positive for the entire stretch of it? How long does this last? How long is the honeymoon phase with us and Freddie Freeman? Does it last all the way till the end of it, till he's done with the Dodgers?
Well, you look at his deal and you consider the fact $27 million a year, signed that $162 million contract. But what were the Dodgers doing before they signed Freddie Freeman? They were trying to bring back Corey Seager. What did Seager sign for? $33 million. Look at Justin Turner. They're paying a 37-year-old Justin Turner $17 million this year, and he's going to be 37 at the end of his contract. So to me, he's a player who posed. He's durable. You mentioned a word I want to touch on, star power. He puts butts in the seats. He sells jerseys. You talk about the revenue that this franchise makes. They print money, and he leads the league in X chants. The Freddie. Every time he steps to the plate, it is a moment. It's a thing at Dodger Stadium, and to me,
it's a thing at other ballparks too. To throw that in.
Oh yeah, 162 home games per year. But I think look at leads the league in doubles, tied with Matt Olson with 14, a 913 OPS. He has been as advertised. When you look at that $27 million contract, you're paying for the next 3 to 4 years when you're having him in a core with Mookie Betts and trying to squeeze 1 or 2 World Series titles out of that. To me, I almost think like the Dodgers bought him in a baseball recession, coming off of COVID, coming off the lockout. It almost feels like someone who bought a $30 million mansion in Beverly Hills that's now worth like $52 million. I think it's great value. I think Fleeceman once again with this Freddie Freeman signing. I think so far so good. I love the splits he did yesterday. I give him a 10 on that. To me, it's a no-brainer, a great deal for the Dodgers.
I think my favorite thing from that was the Fox thing where it's like the animal wakes up and it's a big stretch.
Yeah,
that's my favorite
my God, I love that.
Really good.
Freddie Freeman has proven time and time again to be a ball player. He's a guy that you want up there at the top of your lineup. He's a guy that you want leading your team. I'm going to give him probably 2 out of 10 for his pregame dress because dude looks like a little nerdy out there, but you know what? I respect it. Hiding from the sun, keeping himself safe.
He always wears the Hunter Green Under Armour The Rock shirt. Yeah, I see every time. He wears the same exact thing after every game. He sneaks back there. I say, "What's up, Freddie?" But he doesn't look back or anything like that.
What do you think he eats before the game?
Man, he looks pretty healthy. He looks pretty svelte, man. I mean, but he also looks like maybe like some big turkey legs and just digests everything.
He's a chicken boy.
Yeah.
He's got to be a chicken boy.
He just likes chicken. Everybody likes chicken.
More importantly, the best teeth in all of baseball.
Yeah.
Those are some big old chompers.
He has Jim Carrey's teeth
just
from The Mask, man.
Yeah, I want to see that guy just mow down a bag of baby carrots.
Yeah.
I think he can just crush it.
I have a thought on the Freddie thing. You didn't think it was going to happen. I said it all offseason that Freddie was going to happen, and then a lot of it is just hope. And then it happened, and somehow the Dodgers lose Corey Seager. He's maybe not generational talent, but he's one of the better players in baseball. Corey goes and gets the bag, and somehow the Dodgers got better with this batting profile. I mean, you look at a few opportunities that Freddie's been up there, and you imagine Seager in that same spot. Oh, that's a first pitch foul out instead of a long at bat
or a rollover to first base.
To first base. Yeah, it's like, look, you love Corey, but goddamn, this is what a hitter looks like.
As soon as Corey Seager stopped driving the ball to the opposite field, he was done for me. That was it.
I mean, I think Freeman probably already has more Oppo singles than Seager did in his entire Dodgers
it's the
career.
ultimate.
I have no stats to back that up.
Corey also only has 1 double this year somehow.
Only 1 double, 7 bombs, but it's the ultimate
Corey
meme where
started on fire and then he.
Yeah, it's the ultimate move where it's like Corey Seager, number 5, upgrade key, Freddie Freeman, number 5. He's an upgrade as a hitter, his bat-to-ball skills. So, look, I mean, using all fields, I mean, it's just been great seeing him at the top of that order get it done. I just have really enjoyed seeing him in the Dodger blue.
He's one of the only guys that you can look at in the batter's box and think, whoever's on the mound, regardless, he has a chance to get on base.
Yeah.
And that's the only guy in the lineup that you feel like that about, especially at the start of the season when things weren't that well. Guys, we're almost 50 games into the season now. Going back to an argument that me and Eric had, the Padres and the Giants, we both knew were going to be the two teams that were breathing down the Dodgers' necks. Obviously, I went with the Giants as the team that was going to keep up, that was going to give us the hardest time again. They're still pretty close. I believe they're only 2 games back as of this show release recording. Do you still feel, I don't know what your guys' original thoughts were because I don't remember, but whatever you do feel, do you think that it's still the same, Padres or Giants, one of the two? Clint, where are you feeling about that?
Well, we know it's going to be one of those two. And
yes,
the Padres are, I mean, they're doing all of this right now without Fernando Tatis, without the great error.
But they got Robinson Cano.
I ain't going to touch that one right there. But listen, they're good. They were supposed to be a lot better last season, and then everything just fell apart. But their pitching staff's going to keep getting healthier. They got a lot of weapons over there, and they're for real this year. And they've gone through some of the growing pains. You look at what the Padres did the last couple of seasons. They were trying to copy the Dodgers. Every team is trying to copy the Dodgers in some way, shape, or form. And they reminded me a lot of them 2012, 2013, 2014 Dodgers. Just a lot of dumb little things, rookie mistakes, and just a bunch of dudes that hadn't really done enough postseason play, whether it be a AAA or anything like that. Now they're seasoned. They're getting there. They're getting a little bit better, and they're going to get a lot better with Fernando Tatis. Giants are good. Padres are better. Dodgers best.
Convenient how the Padres starting staff got better after they traded Chris Paddock. It's weird how that works out. They're also somehow looking to get rid of Lamet. I would really like to just have a flashback to 2 years ago when everybody was, it was a good time among Padres fans. They're a little senile, but we respect you. Congratulations, welcome to being a fan. You're new here. Eric, how you feeling about it? I know you were all in on Padres being the guys to take us down, to give us a hard time. Has anything changed?
I flip-flop more on this than a corrupt city councilman. I flip-flop more on this than a Denny's pancake cook.
He's wearing the flip-flops.
I wear flip-flops. I'm all about flip-flopping on this particular topic. I said Padres to you 2 weeks ago. I said Giants. I'm surprised you didn't call me out for that, but thank you.
We don't pay
I'm back on the Padres chain. Look, the run diff is a little fraudulent. They're only plus 19. The pitching's been middling. The offense has been passable. But the big thing, and the reason I was on the Padres, is because Jace Tingler was far from an ace manager. I mean, that guy was an absolute rookie. I will never forget him getting tossed in Game 1 of that Dodgers-Padres series. Dude, you have a young rookie team that needs you right now in the playoffs. They need your leadership, and you got tossed. So bringing in Bob Melvin is really my biggest selling point. And as to Clint's point, they're missing their best player. I know Machado's playing at an MVP level, but when they get Tatis back, and now they have Mackenzie Gore, their top pitching prospect, who a lot of people are really excited about. He's pitched really well. I think the starting staff is dangerous. And I will end on, if you did a draft of the top 10 starting pitchers in the NL West, I think you'd have 4 Padres in there right now. That starting staff has a lot of talent.
I don't want to hype up the Padres too much. I can't have their fans in my mentions again. Speaking of electric pitchers, on Tuesday night, we were treated to something that was just oh so wonderful and oh so confusing if you were not watching the game. Hanser Alberto gets in to pitch the 9th inning of a 12-2 ball game or something like that, a 10-run lead. You don't often see a position player pitching for the team that's up big. That doesn't happen a lot. So when it happened, I was kind of like, what the hell is happening when I was looking at the app? Eric, you were there to see it live. Congratulations. I envy you greatly. I'm going to cry myself to sleep tonight over the fact that I did not see it live. If there's one Dodgers player on this team that you would like to see pitch a relief inning, who would it be and why, Douglas?
Well, first of all, we got to get that campaign going. Cy Alberto, he had filthy stuff, saw that movement. I'm telling you, Hanser Alberto, he is the answer, like you say, for this Dodgers bullpen. Maybe throw him in there. But for me, I would definitely go. So Will Smith, probably not Will Smith. He'll probably hit a bunch of guys, if you know what I mean. Will Smith likes to hit people. Cody Bellinger's pitches might be a little high. Nice fade on his changeup. But I think I'm going to go with Mookie Betts, because Mookie Betts can do everything. He can dunk a basketball. He can run routes like an NFL receiver. He can do the Rubik's Cube. I think he would go on the mound. I think he would go out there and shove. But if I can go back and pick last year's starter, my man Justin Turner, I would go JT. Google it, 0.00 ERA. More men have landed on the moon that have scored runs on Justin Turner, and I'm going with my man JT.
Clint, you're a big fan of position players pitching. Yep. In one Russell Martin, your Lord and Savior, your uncle, whatever you want to call him.
There's a reason he's on a shelf with all Dodger legends right there. You got
0 ERA. Why not?
Yeah.
Current day, who's your guy?
I like the JT train. I want to see him continue that run of dominance, Keep that 0 ERA, get him like 17 innings this year. Why not?
Yes.
The new Shohei.
The new two-way player. That's the guy right there. Eric, give me your thoughts on that.
I want the craziest guy on the roster pitching. I want Austin Barnes, who's just unhinged, foaming at the mouth like a pit bull. He'd probably MF the umpire 6 times in his first 3 pitches. I want to see Austin Barnes bring that Riverside Fury to the mound at Dodger Stadium.
I can imagine a little bit of Mike Fetters in him, like he had that angry. Look up Mike Fetters, kids. It's a good time.
You're old.
I like that pick.
I said you're old.
Thank you.
It's a good pick. Riverside stand-up. I respect it. Personally, I know you said that his changeup would fade a little bit, but I really would like to see Cody Bellinger out there on the mound just for the pure confusion of like him being like, how did I get here? Am I supposed to be standing here? Do I stand on this white thing? And then like him throwing the ball in and it getting hit and him like looking around like, oh.
He forgot how many outs there were last night.
Yeah.
He caught a fly ball and started running to the dugout and they're like, Cody, that's only 2 outs.
He tends to do that. He's not always all there all the time. The skill, the athleticism, it's always there. He's always locked in, but the awareness, sometimes it's not quite there. Guys, I appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you for helping us out with this. Thank you for your excellent commentary. Your expertise, Doug, is always appreciated. And your just beautiful face. Guys, if you want to help out the channel, hit that subscribe button for us. Doug's there. You'll get to see him all the time. He's beautiful.
We are family, guys.
Really helps out the channel. Makes us look
really
good.
Helps out the channel, guys.
We appreciate you guys for being here. And as always,
think blue, bleed blue, and we out.